Rag is short for blue rag. That's why I got the blue rag coming on my skin. You know, and the blue rag is a symbol of cripping. I'm a Shoreline Crip out of Venice.
I walked that walk until the last day I was in prison. They called me Crip Hunter because I was a fool when it came to this cripping. And everybody that did time with me know me as Big Twin. Best artwork I ever seen getting put down was done with D batteries and the prison setup. My rite of passage was in prison. I can't even count how many gang tattoos I've done. Tattoos can also be very, very disrespectful. And if you don't watch what you do with your tattoos, people don't take it lightly. I'm no longer a gang banger, but I'll be a gang member if that's what you want to call me, because I ain't gonna never leave my people behind. I made a 180. I'm not ashamed of who I was. What people consider me to be is I'm the one that they want to call a scratcher. A person that hasn't had someone that showed them what to do, like in a shop or something like that. I learned in prison, and it's hard for people, you know, to get a fair shake when you go into these shops and stuff like that. And then when you do deal with somebody, there's a politic behind it. They've worked very hard to get to a certain level in this game, and they're trying to keep that form, but they got to also understand that we haven't been given the same thing that they've been given, you know, which is an opportunity. I did a life sentence, you know, in prison, and now free again, and I've given them a total of close to 23 years of my life, you know, because I was banged out. And the whole time I was there, this is what I learned. My whole little thing, I can come and I can set up anywhere. Some of the places that I go to, they're pretty bad situations. Every time I go to someone's home, I learn about how they move, a different culture, and their paradigm. So I learn more, I have more fun. I don't gotta just sit in the shop and wait for somebody to walk by with some bread. I like to deal with the people that don't have a lot of money because it's an experience and they're getting something that they'll never get from nobody else, and I have a lot of passion in what I do. Everything that I use is out of a package, so it's sterilized already. And then when I put the saran wrap down, and then I use my grease and my ink caps and everything is already clean. Probably even cats that are gonna watch this that are professionals are gonna be like, his setup is suspect, whatever. Shit. They'll judge you based on what you set up and the stuff that you have, but my thing is, if I can give you the same artwork, don't even trip. Transitioning from prison, tattooing to, I guess you could say mainstream, they're gonna always call me a scratcher. And I don't got no problem with that. Today I'm gonna tattoo one of my homies, Rag. He's a real trusted friend of mine. What I'm gonna do on Rag is a basic black and gray. Me and my brother have been tattooing on him, like telling stories. And the one that I'm gonna do today is something I started when I first came home. It's a tattoo of Mother Africa. I've learned how to use white on black skin. Like a lot of people, they think if they're tattooing black skin, they say go hard on it, it's gonna look like a scar. When I came home from prison, I asked the guy, I said, do you got some 1-point needles? And he's like, huh? I said, I just want 1 point. He said, what is that? I've never heard of that. But now I use a 3-round, but I still use it sometimes, the same way I did prison tattoos, and that's where I get ahead of the game. And I got you a little treat for you guys. I didn't even know it was here. This is what I'll challenge anybody with. This is a prison gun. When I was doing a life sentence, me and my friends made this gun, this tip right here in the machine shop in prison. and it's just a cradle for a Walkman motor. And you hand make the needles, even down to the ink cap. It's from an ink pen. Difference is with a prison tattoo gun and a machine is these go in circles. So you gotta go with the flow of which way that it's going. So it's going in circles. So, and then when you shade, you powder shade and you just build on the powder. A machine goes up and down. So as you go, you're raking the skin constantly and digging it so it destroys the skin sometimes. This is a prison tattoo right here. This is a street tattoo. Look how my lines are beat up. It's about my family. I keep this tattoo gun because it helps me stay true from where I came from. Like, my rite of passage was in prison. You know, I grew up in prison. Just tattooing, I crossed lines with every culture in there only because I was an artist. And it let me know what the rest of us was missing, because instead of us having shiny objects like this to do art, we was making knives. So when I come with a message. I like to talk about positivity in our people, you know, black and brown, because we've been pulled apart. Keep going at each other, and I don't know why. But this artwork, now once we start bringing us together, let's battle like that. I'll battle with any one of them. I did this when I first came home with a rotary gun, and now that I'm using different machines now, I wanted to touch it up. I didn't have no one show me how to do this as far as like, take your hand and let me show you this, and that. No, I went and I did it myself. I followed people. I learned from the greats. Paul Booth, you know, Bob Tyrrell, cartoon. Those are the ones that I studied. Their tattoos moved. I can't even count how many gang tattoos I've done. Most of them are either me covering up an old gang tattoo or replacing it. I'd advocate for someone to recover it, but if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be grandiose. I'm gonna try to make it right.
It didn't matter anyway if I didn't have tattoos. My rivals knew me, the police knew me, everybody knew me because of the things I was doing and how active I was. I'm glad I waited, because me being young and so active, I would have gang tattoos everywhere on my body. But now, since I waited and got more mature, I can say, hey, I want artwork on my culture, because I call this my revolutionary side. That's why I got Mother Africa. You know what I'm saying?
My lifestyle before this, like, if they would have got tattoos from me in the 80s or whatever, I would have did whatever they wanted to if I knew how to tattoo them. I love my artwork. The transition to it was very hard. I had to get people to believe in what it was that I did, knowing and trusting me, you know. They're gonna always call me a scratcher. And I don't got no problem with that. I'm not ashamed of who I was. I made a 180. When people see that you're serious about your artwork and you moving forward on some other stuff and you talking, your artwork starts to talk for you. And then you get to cross these cultural lines. And I love and embrace those who are still out there in them streets. I lift them up, you know, because they're speaking. You know, they're warriors and they're talking. They just don't realize they respect one another. You know, and once you get to warriors, you realize they respect one another and that it's not hate. You know, you can go a long way with that. And that's what I do with this artwork.